Where's welcome to the Damu Kiwe conversation. Voice of the West Coast and the voice of the culture. It's Duse M's the Dime. I'm on Clubhouse right now. I just muted up. But we had to run this content. Listen, it's early in the morning. We got some feedback. Sharice. Remember Hannibal Lecter was Clarice, and all that shit. Well, Sharice Mills. I told you, blood went to bleep. I know it's hard to accept that you was bamboozled and hoodwinked, thinking that this nigga was really tough. A lot of niggas put that facade on, you know what I'm saying? But this is where you find out what a nigga made of. So we got some clarification on some of the facts. Let's get to it, man. Damu Kiwe. Hit that like button if you just came in, just like taking your chucks off before you come in a gangster's house. Subscribe if you ain't did that. The numbers is bananas right now. Nigga, thank you guys. I humbly want to thank you guys. You guys hitting that like button, sending those super chats and cash apps is what keeps the lights on for me to continue doing this. I need y'all to continue doing this. Let's go. Shout out to Gangster for YouTube. Be back with another one. Y'all go over there and tell them I said
what it do, YouTube? What it do? So J Money tapped in directly from the feds. He's one of the Hoovers that went down on that RICO. He's upset that certain YouTubers called him a chomo. He said, go check my paperwork. There's nothing in there involving kids.
Yeah, this J Money reporting live from the federal MDC, whatever this shit called. Dead homies. I'm downtown LA in the feds. But look, shout out Real News Street Politics, wherever the fuck that YouTube page is called. But on the Dead Homies, wherever he's saying in there about J Money, about me, Jared Evans, that shit not right. That shit talking about him, Evans, and Lady Duck helped a 14-year-old and helped teach her and all that. Man, on the Dead Homies, I don't condone no minors, no underage, none of that shit. You can check my paperwork and see it. I ain't got no minor victims or no weird shit on my case. You feel me? This is an open case, so I ain't finna say too much.
He said y'all YouTubers will do anything for views. He said go check my paperwork and you'll see that I'm good. He gave his full name and everything because he wants everybody to view his paperwork. He also confirmed that they beat up Luce Cannon. My boy Luce Cannon stayed getting beat up. He got beat up by Cowboy before he went in. Now he got knocked out by somebody from 5 Deuce.
Y'all know the media be lying, trying to put extras on it. Y'all can go on pacer.com and check the paperwork and all that. Motherfucker be doing hella extra lying on the set for media. You feel me? To trump this stuff and make this shit look all crazy, put tens on everything. Well, in the damn homies, dude's a weird ass nigga, whoever real street rap news politics, whoever. I don't got nothing to do with no minors or nothing like that. Twisting words up and twisting all type of shit up. I got my complaint. I got my 155-page complaint. Ain't nowhere up in there saying I help nobody do nothing with no minors. The dead homies, weird ass. And Luce Cannon just got knocked out by the young homies from 5 Deuce on everything.
The guy who knocked out Luce Cannon is from 5 Deuce Hoover Crib. He's also on a RICO for pimping a minor. So J Money and the rest of the other Hoovers packed him out. They got him up out of that yard. So that guy is no longer from the set. J Money said he doesn't care if you're from the set or not. If you got bad charges, they're gonna shank you up. Sounds like J Money is standing on principle.
Look, even the homie that knocked out Luce Cannon, he got allegations with some minors. We got him up out of here. We not dealing with nobody with no minor or nothing on they shit. So tap in, this nigga wanna hear the real. Nigga, dead homies. Anybody that got anything to do with minors, homies or not, I run across any of these weird ass that got minor allegations on they shit, don't get smashed. I don't condone none of that shit. It got me twisted up in some bullshit, kids and all that shit. You know I don't fuck around with none of that shit. Never did, never will.
That nigga said check his work. Hey, listen, rap news, street politics. First, he definitely confirmed Luce Cannon got boo-bop, but the nigga that knocked him out, and he said, put him to bed. He put him to bed, but he said that the nigga that put him to bed, they got rid of him because he was fucking with some kids, so they done rolled him up. You know what I'm saying? One thing about them prison politics, them snitches just getting away, some soft yards in the feds, a low or a camp or something, you might not have to be held accountable, but you hit them, even at MDC, you can be held accountable. Nigga, I done had paperwork party, nigga, in the cell, nigga, with a nigga paperwork. You know what I'm saying? In the cell. So, nigga, it's I'm not the only one, nigga. It's a bunch of niggas that's standing on business on that and fucking with them kids. Them niggas to get you up out the way quick, put that steel up in you, push that knife. But the brother is also speaking on an issue, and I'm gonna get into that because, and a little bit more about the Hoover Crips. I don't really talk too much about the Hoover Crips, which is the 5 Deuces. And the 5 Nines, I think, is criminals now also. So you got 5 Deuce Hoover Crips, one of the only ones where the young dudes still claim Crip that are from Hoover, right? Or Hoover Street or Vers or whatever you want to call them, right? We gonna get into this because this internet shit is getting crazy. I really fuck with Rap News and Street Politics content. He kind of like be on target like every time. So for him to assume or not properly evaluate is unheard of. Whether or not this dude was in there for playing with kids is unheard of. So now if he did say that, we gonna get into it since they brought it up, right? Now if they did say that, dude is saying, nigga, check out my paperwork. Nigga, my name is Whoopty. So I'm gonna get the paperwork and we gonna find out what it was or what it wasn't. But let's get into the Hoovers real quick, right? And I know Hoover stopped from A-Trey Hoover, and them niggas that be in the chat is gonna be checking this out. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Sharice Mills, before we get into this, sound like Loose Coochie Ashley got grooved by the Groovers. Real groovy. Nasty work.
From when the 6-0s got wrapped up in the RICO and the feds stayed in the city and came over to Fig, taking down 11 people where they got some nasty allegations. And I gotta say, I gotta give a warning to y'all that's listening. It's gonna be some raw details with what the feds are alleging these defendants have done. Now again, everything is just allegations. They innocent until proven guilty. But you already know how the feds is coming, man. They've done their homework and they really started it by piecing together everything about the Hoovers. Now, you know, we got some high profile names on this case. Y'all know we got Lady Duck as the lead defendant on this case. And a lot of people ask, how's the only female on this case the lead defendant? For y'all that's in the city, y'all done heard her name before. Y'all may know her. You already know Lady Duck is not playing. She was already sitting down on the state case for 30 flocks and had a release date. And now the feds have put the squeeze on her and they finna take everybody down to MDC. And just to give y'all an idea of what Lady Duck got going on in this indictment, the feds got somebody on tap trying to sell Lady Duck a female for a rack. And if Lady Duck didn't want her, they said they was gonna sell her organs across the border. Lady Duck replied, what she look like? So that's the type of role they allege Lady Duck is playing in this indictment. But not only is Lady Duck on here, y'all know we got P4K out the Baby Stone Gorillas from BPS. Everything they was saying about dude, the feds are alleging that him and pretty much everybody else was involved in some nasty activity on Fig. Now with the RICO, you know they saying that the Hoovers are an enterprise, a full organization that's running a monopoly on the west side of South Central. And as the feds put it, they are operating from Fortray to the one-way. But not only do they got the RICO charge, they got the sex trafficking of the minors by force, fraud, or coercion, transportation of a minor, sexual exploitation of a minor. They got drug trafficking, money laundering, and they got the firearm purchases stacked up against these dudes. But overall, it's 24 victims, with 8 of them being minors. And what I've seen is ranging from ages 14 to 17. Some crazy work that's being alleged in this indictment. But this whole situation started off in February 2021 and ended last week, August 7th, 2025, where they unsealed this indictment and turned the heat up on everybody. Now, February 9th, 2021, Lady Duck was caught with 9 racks, some fake pills that had that fentanyl in it, and a scale for distribution. This is the starting point where everything started to go left. And this is when the feds started to fully build their case on the Hoovers as a whole, not just the pimping. They pretty much got everything except for murders in this indictment surrounding the Hoovers. They've been studying their rivals. Of course, they well-known rivals and allies. Those facts are pretty well publicized in the streets and, of course, on the internet. But the feds are alleging that the Hoovers got about 1,800 active members right now. And they had 3 main strongholds in this operation. 2 of them being motels, one of them the Stadium Inn, and the other one the 110 Motel, with the Stadium Inn being on Vermont and the 110 Motel being off Florence. And the feds are also alleging that the House of Hotties off Fig, that little female clothing store, was one of the key pieces in helping strengthen the enterprise of the Hoovers. Now, the feds said they were studying the Hoovers for a long time, and they seen even if the Hoovers is having internal conflict between one of their sets, they noticed that when it was time to put in work, all the sets was coming together for Hoover. And this is what they using to prove that they running a full-fledged enterprise. And they also dug deep into how people was getting put on and who exactly was getting walked on because of their family ties into the Hoovers. Now, this is being labeled as a complex case because it has more than 8 defendants. It got 11 total. Well, like we said, Lady Duck, P4K, Vermont Star, Tiny 3, Folo, J Money, Young Poke, and a few other dudes who are either associates or members of one of the Hoover sets in L.A. And Vermont Star is the same dude that we spoke on in our Swan video, the dude that just robbed Day 3 homie of his chains. And Tiny 3 is King off Manchester, another rapper coming out the Hoovers.
Doing heads, pulling skits, nigga better keep a tool on him. 10 bands for a headshot and we gon' stand on him. My cousin Whoopty whoopin' Whoopty wham, nigga, land on me. Fuck said trophy, nigga, long live the dead homie, man.
Now, a thing that we gotta stress, like we said, Young Pope, P4K, we gotta let y'all know, these charges and allegations we finna go through is nothing to play with, and they only pertain to the people that we talking about in this indictment. Just because you see Young Poke name, this ain't got nothing to do with the Poke that we know that's doing this entertainment shit. With P4K, this got nothing to do with the Baby Stone Gorillas. Like I said, these charges are nothing to play with, so let's not get silly with the internet shit just because you see some familiar names in this indictment. But what's being said is that all these defendants helped each other in one way or another in this human trafficking ring, whether it was with the minors or the adults. Everybody played a hand in keeping the grip on the operation. And everybody knows Fig, and we know what hood is on Fig. It said that to operate on Fig, you have to be in good standing with the Hoovers. And they also alleged that some people was paying taxes to play ball on Fig with some of the feet out there. But overall, that fear factor is what the feds are using to glue the Hoovers to a whole enterprise, resulting in this RICO. And the key thing that y'all gotta realize is the same shit every time. Instagram. Not only are these dudes using these music videos, but they using Instagram to prove the allegations in these indictments. The guns and the drugs are being shown on Instagram, shown in the music videos, and along with the weapon seizures and the seizure of the drugs, the feds are saying that the Hoovers are using this and keeping drugs and weapons around to protect their assets in these 2 motels and the clothing store. And they said it was also using the clothing store and the motels as stash spots for guns and drugs. And even though dudes like P4K is not from Hoover, they were still involving themselves in Hoover politics and in the Hoover enterprise. BPS is not mentioned once other than as an ally of Hoover in this indictment. But overall, the feds are alleging 441 overt acts that they using against all 11 of these defendants. So overt acts are going to be specific crimes and elements that the feds use as probable cause to set forth the indictment. And again, there's 441 different acts or crimes that were committed. Now, the feds start off by saying most of these defendants was branding their names, tattooing their names on these victims, some adults and some minors, with Lady Duck having her name on 4 people, Hands having his name on at least 2 people. Folo, aka Figure Four, also had his name on at least 3 people. Info had his name tatted on a 17-year-old girl on her face. And for my star had his name tatted on a 17-year-old girl on her neck. Now with Lady Duck, the feds say she is a hood trophy. They got this in the indictment, say she's one of the lifelines of the set. And they got J Money on the conversation telling somebody that Lady Duck has been holding the set down money-wise for a long time. And it was time for him to start increasing his profits in the streets for the hood. So situations like these is why Lady Duck is seen as the lead defendant in this case. Like I said, she was already down for 30 flocks in 3 different counties and was in custody since July of last year. But they got her on tape beating multiple females, and there was that one tape that came out in the store where she was seen beating that pregnant female, where she alleged that that female was dissing the Hoovers.
All right, what, bitch? All right, I hope you got the same dress on, bitch. What? Fuck wrong with you, bitch, when you dissing the set, bitch? I'm a dead homie, bitch. ACG, this on the set. Say sorry, bitch. Bitch, say sorry, bitch, for dissing the set.
But right before she went down for them flocks, April 26, 2024, she's seen at that Stadium Inn with a 14-year-old girl. Now, her and J Money both had hands in lacing this 14-year-old girl up, but she was the main person in dealing with this little girl. And the crazy part is, Duse was actually out here dealing with little girls. At one point, they said this girl had $200 at 2 a.m. And by 4 p.m. the next day, she had $1,500, bringing it straight to Lady Duck. And it got so crazy where the little girl's family ended up finding her at Stadium Inn, and Lady Duck told one of her homies that she's starting to look like a child predator out here dealing with this little girl. Now, like I said, J Money was with her, and all these dudes was around this situation with a 14-year-old girl outside. But like I said, Lady Duck,
they either got a wire or it was on a wiretap. She's done fucking with them kids. Let's go.
Extremely active in this section. When they needed burners, they was calling Lady Duck. She was caught on a phone call with an undercover space circulating. Then she replied that Hoover won his head. And one of the main people she was dealing with was P4K. Now, you know, P4K to the internet, he made a cold turn to the pimping. As soon as the rapping started to slow down, everybody saw it. The Baby Stones stopped producing music at the rate that they was producing it at, and P4K really took on this whole pimping moniker. And the feds started to use his rapping with glorifying the pimping and the gangbanging to build this case against him. But this dude was out here leveraging his rapping career, telling females that they could go on tour with him if they hit the blade for him. But on January 1st, 2023, it's like this nigga made the New Year's resolution to get pimping because the feds got him posting an ad for females to apply to his pimping and saying all applicants must be obedient. Again, all of this done on social media, Instagram. Now, after that ad in January 2023, July 2023, P4K with a 16-year-old female. And not only was he trafficking her, the feds alleged that he was also having an intimate relationship with this 16-year-old girl as well in 2023. And like I said, he was seen with many Hoovers, but he was in deep communication with Lady Duck. At one point in the audio recording in the Instagram message, P4K stated to Lady Duck that he pimps minors over the age of 16 and under the age of 18. He admitted it out of his own mouth in his own audio recording, allegedly. So all the bad shit people were saying about P4K, you know, when you had them charges, that's one thing. But now when you get this paperwork, it's a whole nother ball game when you got the discovery on somebody. It's not looking good for this dude, and it's not looking good for any of these defendants. They all look like the bad people. And we seen a clip of Smack from back on Fig speaking about the child trafficking on Fig.
What is we gonna do about the prostitution out there and these kids walking Figueroa?
So-
Your kids got to go to school and see this.
So let me just tell you, that's an issue that when we started in the 90s, we were dealing with as well. The difference is that the women, there were women that were on the streets then. Now they're girls that are on the street.
Babies.
Almost across the board, the girls are from the foster care system.
And you know, some people look at it in a way as if Smack was telling on the Hoovers, anything like that. My thing is, these is the bad people. Everybody in this case dealing with minors is bad. There's no way around it, no way to cut it. I feel like he spoke on what he had to speak on, not necessarily implementing any of his homies, but shining the light on these members dealing with little kids. So Lady Duck, after she had that 14-year-old girl, May 2024, they got her on a phone call with Info talking about the hood is hot right now, and he's specifically hot, and that they come into the hood to pick up these minors off the blade. And everything was well known and publicized between these members from Hope. Now with P4K, what we all seen was when he was beating on that chick on the blade. We had it in our blood report card video, him whooping on the chick from the blade. That whole situation, the backstory of that is crazy. So Info, again, Naziz Harris, a flagrant offender in this case. He had a 17-year-old girl earlier this year in January 2025 working for him. P4K ended up knocking the 17-year-old girl and taking her back to Harris, and both of them made the female choose. The female ended up choosing P4K, and Info basically asked P4K if he can punch on the female, the 17-year-old girl, as an exit fee. P4K allowed him to punch on the girl and took the female to Fig. Now, of course, shortly after she hit Fig, she went back to Info and left P4K and got back down on the blade for Info. P4K ends up pulling back up on her, and that's where we see him beating on that female on the blade. That was a little girl. And of course, the feds seen that, and they also are alleging that that video was a scare tactic that P4K intentionally put on the internet to show his other females that they need to be obedient to his pimping.
Need better sleep.
Hey, don't put me on no camera. Nigga, I'm coming hard about mine. They just put up. I'm coming hard about my bitch, nigga. Play with my bitch again, nigga. My bad.
Now, the feds allege that all these dudes was targeting females that was, of course, in foster care, runaways, and females that just grew up around the blade and somewhat close to the lifestyle. And of course, they know they was dealing with minors, so they was providing fake IDs, and some kidnapping was involved. Now, like I said with Info, Naziz Harris, he was told multiple times by his homies that dealing with minors was dangerous. But again, not only was he trafficking these females, he's also beating on them. He was going around the hood telling people how the minors is snitching on him about him pistol whipping them. But he had another 17-year-old girl around that same time where P4K had knocked him for the other minor. And the feds are alleging that he was producing explicit content with this little girl, along with beating on her and getting her hooked on pills. And what blew this dude up, he take this little girl across country, end up getting stopped, and the folks find his pistol. He tells this 17-year-old girl to take the charge for him. And of course, she snitches on him in Nebraska. Nebraska put out the human trafficking of a minor charge on him, and he goes down in March 2025. And after that, they still have him pimping over the jail phone to his feet back in California. But somebody he was in heavy communication with was Young Poke. Now, Young Poke is probably the worst person in this indictment in terms of allegations. Young Poke, real name Keandre Young. He started off with the 15-year-old girl, and then the feds allege that he starts having an intimate relationship with the 15-year-old girl, and then they uncover, again, explicit content between Young Poke and this little girl. Multiple pieces of content, though. Then he goes ahead and secures a 17-year-old girl and whoops her feet in front of everybody. And this is when his other little females, his adult females, are approaching him about dealing with minors. And he goes on to berate them about how the minors are bringing in more paper than them. And then
them pimps on the blade and them whole niggas that ain't gangbanger pimps and all that is not going to be respected. Obviously, you got degenerate pimps all across the world that would do it. But they definitely, nigga, I remember, nigga, we used to chase niggas' hoes off the blade if they was underage. So, and so niggas know that they can't come over there because the police finna shut everything down. Nigga, Amber Alerts, nigga, this, and you got this little girl out here, and they beating on them and everything on the blade. This shit is crazy.
After all of that, he gets another 15-year-old girl. And this dude had the nerve to tell Info that dealing with minors was dangerous. And at one point, he threatened a 17-year-old girl with Lady Poke, saying he was going to have Lady Poke pull up and put them hands on her. But when the female tried to leave him, he goes on, ends up beating the girl and holding her hostage for 7 days straight. And the feds are alleging that he RAPE'd the chick as well, man. All bad, dealing with these minors. And this is another reason why they say the gangbanging and the pimping don't mix, man. These niggas went wild. They was doing too much. At one point, Info was in communication with Young Pope about one of his girls. The 17-year-old girl was saying that her head was hurt. Info asked her if she wanted to go to the hospital. She said no, because I'm not going to be able to explain these bruises on my face. Mind you, this is a kid. Now, Young Pope also had another 16-year-old girl with him, and when the feds caught up to him, he had a screenshot of Department of Child Services trying to get in contact with her because he had gaffled her up. And they further glued him to the Enterprise when he recorded and posted when the Hoovers caught them dudes from Main Street slipping. And they had posted the video dissing the Main Streets and whooping on some shit. Now with Folo, aka Figure 4, he was on some whole other shit. Of course, the feds are alleging that they was in multiple states. Of course, Vegas is one of them, but they was at least operating in 9 different states. Folo was out here training his females to have them sticky fingers. And everybody sees it that this situation happened because all these females is talking. The feds have made contact with all 24 of these victims clearly, and they all snitching. And when you putting these females in these bad positions, having them yanking the clients, they running and scared for their life. You having them taking gun charges, they gon' tell on your ass. But it said Figure 4 sent this chick to steal a Rolex, and when she came back, he punched her in the back of the head. Like I said, he was putting her in the line of fire, putting himself in the line of fire. And they alleged that he ripped her hair out, she pointed a gun at him, and he ended up breaking the female nose. Now, right before Lady Duck went down in 2024, she already knew that the feds was on them. I don't know if it was because of the flocking, but she made multiple statements that spots were under investigation, including hers on 88. The people that rolled up there and they noticed somebody throwing a gun out of her house. They had a lot of people meeting up and a lot of the females on 88 as well. But I believe it's because they was making the spot hot. Dudes like J Money. The feds also alleged he was branding females with tatting his name on their face. But after the chick got his name tatted on the face, he ends up hitting the bitch with the car and told her no matter where she go, he gonna groove her ass. They was truly gorilla pimping out here, man, squeezing these females and these minors for everything they had. And then Matthew Brooks, Buddha, aka Vermont Star, the bad people. He also had himself a 17-year-old little girl on the blade, and he was beating on her. The feds got him allegedly stuffing the chick in the trunk and driving with her from Fig all the way to Riverside. And when they got to Riverside, he beat on her some more. Now, the 17-year-old female ended up getting pregnant by Vermont Star, telling him she got pregnant, and he kicked her in the stomach to where she started to bleed out of a specific place of her body. Y'all know what I'm saying. And then he proceeded to stab her in the leg with a pair of scissors. 17-year-old girl. Now, after this, he ends up shooting at the female, almost hitting her in the face, and he beat her again, chipping her tooth and knocking her braces loose. Now, on top of this, like I said, they was already patrolling Fig. I said people have to be sanctioned to play ball on Fig. He caught somebody that wasn't sanctioned with Info and Tiny 3. They robbed this dude, stole his car, and they took it to a chop shop and chopped it up. So like I said, the pimping and the gangbanging, they doing both. It really blew everything up, along with, of course, doing the nasty work, dealing with minors. Now, Tiny 3, like I said, he was with Gray on that move, but Tiny 3 was also tripping. T-John Gray, he was looking for some new feet, ended up pulling up on another 17-year-old girl fresh out of school at the bus stop. Jumps out on this female, pours some motor oil on her, and his homie come up and rob the chick for the gold chain. Again, a whole lot of playing with these minors brought them some unwanted attention. Tiny 3 also drove to San Bernardino's Blade and tried to kidnap 2 females. He said they had them in the car, but some way the females had got loose. And they had Tommy Guns March of this year, right when that 6-0 indictment was popping off. He's on a jail call, locked up in L.A. County, pimping the females over the phone. This is how they built this whole situation on the Hoovers, man. They was doing a whole lot, and then on top of that, they hit them with the money laundering, playing with the paper on Apple Pay and Cash App, advertising the drug sales on social media, also talking about gun deals with they females. The females is snitching. Now they got the same guns that they said they was buying in the music videos, and recording themselves beating on the females and posting it to social media. Social media is one of the main things that glued this indictment together on the Hoovers, man. Of course, like I said, 24 victims, 8 minors, a bunch of talking and telling, but you giving the people so much glue on Instagram. And y'all know with charges like these, the government has put a notice of requested attention. And for each one of these defendants, they got multiple reasons why they probably not gonna make bond. Number one, they requiring all the defendants to be present at their appearance, which is a no-brainer, but they also stating that there's a risk of safety for other people in the community. Those are the main 2 reasons for pretrial detention on all 11 defendants. The next one is gonna give y'all some insight as to what it's looking like in terms of time being faced. The presumptions applicable to pretrial detention is everybody's facing an offense with 10 years or greater maximum penalty and committing a crime involving a minor. They're also stating that everybody's at risk of fleeing. You know, these are heavy charges. It's not looking good on this indictment, but that's the cost to playing with these little kids out here, man. Now, we know the Hoovers right now, they were starting to get a buzz, man. They had some motion at No Jumper. They formed a little rap group, but then everything went tragic on A-Trey Hood Day. We're not going to speak about that. And now this comes out about the Hoovers, man. As we see, the feds are still in the city. They not going nowhere. Y'all got to tighten it up with the social media. And
man, ain't no tighten it up. If you in the streets, you better not be on social media. You know what I'm saying? I do this because I live a legal lifestyle. But look, so those is the Hoovers. They up in there, the bad peoples, man. They up in there for playing with these kids, beating on them, torturing them, all kind of stuff. Human trafficking, RICO, and money laundering. Something about the cash apps and the money on that got them money laundering. But one of them is the ones that put the nigga Loose Coochie to bleep. You know what I'm saying? Blood went to bed, nigga. Nighty-night, nigga. Go night-night, nigga. That nigga went night-night. Now he up there, but then the cold shit about it, they say the nigga from Hoover that beat him, that nigga bad people. So they got rid of him. And in their business, they on their programming. Salute to them brothers up in there programming, standing on business. Because that's just programming. You know what I'm saying? That same shit, these rats, oh, don't nobody care about that. Let them niggas keep telling you that. And you get up in there and you talking to them peoples. There's repercussions for everything. But in any event, that's what's going on. We do got young Ant Buffet. I see he popping slick, but we gonna go to his content and keep it content. I ain't mad. He shoot his love. I shoot my loves. You know what I'm saying? We been got over the issue. We gonna keep it as respectful as possible. I'm still gonna flame that buffet ass up here and there. Let's go.
Deal with the good old people, man. It's your boy Young and Hefe. Don't care about number what the check say. Make sure you go ahead, like and subscribe, because it don't cost you nothing. Press that button, and if you ring that notification bell, I'm gonna bring you mail. What's the good old big deal with the good old people? It's Hot Topics with your boy Young and Hefe, and I'm here to deliver you another one like the other one. The recipient of Hot Topics, Luce Cannon. Y'all know I brought that content to y'all yesterday regarding Luce Cannon. Here, whether you believe it or not, for those that don't know me and just have their opinion, I don't like to put out false narratives. And if I do happen to have some belief in something or something leaning towards a way to where it seems like it's true, I will speak on it. And if I have to come back to clean that up, to set the narrative straight, we gonna do that. That's how it go in life, you know what I'm saying? When mistakes are made or something, you know what I'm saying, it's misconstrued, and once you get the facts, you correct it and you keep it moving, you know what I'm saying?
Same old phone? Nah. Upgrade to the new Galaxy Z Fold 7.
Why did no one tell Wisconsin drivers about this new rule?
If you are currently insured, drive less than 50 miles a day, and live in a qualified zip code, you can get an extremely high discount. Additionally, if you have no tickets, if you have not received a ticket in 3 years, you could get even more discounts. But do you think your auto insurance company will tell you that? I don't think so. Now listen to this. When Miranda, a good friend of mine, entered her zip code at comparisons.org, she was shocked. She found out her local insurance agent was...
So, we heard from Duse M, and y'all heard from me by way of one of my people. I didn't know if it was true or not. And like I said, regardless, it ain't even no smoke with that guy. It's just that I point out the facts, that he clown a lot, he goof a lot, he lie a lot. That's all, and when you point facts out, people, had a nerve, to turn their nose up at you. However, I reported that he was knocked out by somebody from Hoover, and I'm thinking somebody from Hoover that's just off that indictment of RICO that just went down a week ago. However, Duse M got the same information, so I'm not wondering how this information is being crossed. If the same people are reaching out, where this came from.
No, what I am going to do, same people.
After this segment, I'm about to tap in.
That's why I got it before
I got the information from, because he did drop his number and asked me to call him as if he had more information pertaining to the situation.
Now that's some great journalistic research you can do, and Hefe. Go ahead, you should have tapped in with them again before you even went live. But I get it. Get your money, man. Drag the content out. You come back with that at a later time. Let's go.
We got Charisse Mills going bonkers, going haywire on Duse M. Like, hey, look, you was just tapping in, trying to holler, get content, you know what I'm saying, asking, can you react to this, react to that? Now, all of a sudden, you got content talking about this happened to my spouse.
Listen, I cover the good and the bad. It's content. They definitely ain't offering but loose coochie. Oh, I'm gonna flame him up every chance I get. Y'all forgot he put my nigga Big U in jail? Come on now.
And I don't know what their conversation was. I don't know what their relation was, but this content space is a crazy space like that. Dudes would be trying to be cool with you, trying to merge with you. You would think everything. The next thing.
No, not try to merge with them. Definitely respect a female. I'm not beefing with no female. My issue is with her nigga. Now, they ran some content, and what's his name? Misguided Media, who also told me he looks up to me or whatever. I put on there that I guess he runs and upload some of the content of Luce Cannon to their page. And I put, can I react to this? Because they play a whole lot of reporting to YouTube games. So that's what that was about, Young and Hefe. Definitely not clicking up. Nigga, the line been drawn in the sand. She just a female. So she over there by default. So I'm not on her. We ain't looking for no innocence. We get our mans. Let's go.
You look up, dudes is spending some controversial content on you. Now, if you struck out and you did something foul that warranted for somebody to blast you, we understand that. But when dudes are out here asking for favors and then trying to spin narratives, man, that's a no good, low down, dirty shame. But as I said, I don't know their situation. I don't know if she just speaking, but I definitely got the information as well that Luce Cannon got knocked out. So Sharice Mills is coming out and saying that he didn't get knocked out. Or if he did get knocked out before he got knocked out, he fought 3 Hoovers and whooped them. But they don't have time to be reporting fights. Ain't nobody got time to be reporting all that. But the thing is, Luce Cannon reports everything. That's the thing. Look, one thing about it, if Luce Cannon whoops something, you can best believe Luce Cannon is coming to that phone, getting on that phone like, yeah, babe, oh, you know how I go up in here, these marks, you know what I'm saying? These sweeties up in here, these cream puffs, cream pies up in here playing games. I had to lay a demonstration down. Luce Cannon is not going to hold that type of information in, regardless of the phone saying that it's being recorded.
Luce Cannon is not holding no
whatever. He ain't been on there since he been in there. And although we know he spread lies, he has still said controversial stuff and it said stuff that was going on. Luce Cannon is not the type to keep his mouth shut. And as you're going to see in this segment, his wife basically sums it up and says the same thing. Like, I'm a little different from him. I don't do too much talking. But look, I don't want to hold you guys any longer. We about to get into this content. And you already know, man, it's the Hef Weight and the Hef Effect. We going to commentate.
Most people are too lazy to do this, but it saves homeowners a fortune.
Let's go.
Really love preying on people's downfalls, don't you? Look at little Duse M, so excited. Like
little girl, do you understand, nigga? 5'11", 240, little. You ever seen this thing hang? Man, let's go.
The kid in the candy shop. Luce Cannon got knocked out. We've got content. Bro, do you have a woman in bed or something? Go worry about that. You're too pressed. I mean, so pressed. It's ridiculous. Do you even have proof that that's actual and factual? One thing I will guarantee and confirm, he is in the hole. But best believe, honey, Cannon didn't get knocked out. But you're going to hear from the horse's mouth when he calls in, okay? But stop spreading false narratives. Y'all love to keep Cannon's name in your mouth like a dick. I swear to God. Like, go suck on something else, yo. Go suck on something else. Like, you really excited that he got knocked out? Truth be told, this is not his first fight with a Hoover, okay? He fought 3 Hoovers, literally, a day prior. You just, you're late to the party, okay? You're late to the party, but you're not going to report that, though, right? Why? Because they got knocked their ass beat? Come on, ain't nobody got time to be reporting all the fights, because that's like you telling on yourself, right? Like, we wasn't going to talk about this. I knew he was in the hole, sweetie. Sweetie! Go worry about something else now. But y'all always want to keep Cannon's name in your mouth, but you hate him so bad. Weren't you just in the comments begging to repost, or what was the word you was like, can I react to this content? React to this now. Go and react to this one, okay? I'm over here, listen. I'm worried about my son's birthday right now, which it sucks that my husband can't be part of the festivities through the phone because of this dumb shit. Y'all worried about the wrong things here. We got family things going on here. All right? Y'all don't care about how it affects the family, right? Y'all don't care about that, right? It's just so fucked up. Y'all prey on people's downfalls and don't.
You talking about not caring about how it affects the family. Do you not remember when, I'll show this shit. We ain't even finna listen to this no more. What we finna do is just go right in on that stupid ass statement. The world does not revolve around you and that retarded ass nigga you got. So all you gotta do, since you talking about people don't care about the family, right? Nigga, I ain't never forgot. So Luce Cannon, Yael. Oh, you didn't care how it affected his family then, right? You didn't care about that, right? You forgot. Let's go to this one first. We're going to play that over again. Let's start over.
Y'all is some tough keyboard clicking. It ain't gonna save you. You're gonna be a plant when I see you, bro. You know how I get down.
We don't know nothing.
You know how I get down. And he's laughing because he's thinking, like, well, better them than me. Y'all is sweet. Y'all is busters, bro. Y'all not even built like that. Stop
Definitely
playing.
not built like you.
Man, I
Major
just laughed.
difference, nigga.
Busters. Duse M. Y'all
Never
tough
been
around
a
that
buster,
keyboard.
nigga. That's
Ooh.
the difference between me and you. And I never went to bleak. Dead homies, nigga. I bet you can't put that on your dead homie. Well, shit, you ain't even a gang member, bro. So, in any event, let me see. We might have this thing with Luce Cannon. I think this might be
Look, y'all gotta stop playing. Is the reason why they call me the boogeyman. Like, this is fact.
I know who had it on their shit. Compton Rick Rock. Compton Rick Rock had that on there. So we're going to go ahead and go to Compton Rick Rock page. Luce Cannon, Yael. So you want to talk about families. Luce Cannon, don't get your jaw broke. Yeah, I guess maybe he took it down. You know what I'm saying? In any event, that bitch ass nigga disrespected Yael's family, his mother, who have just passed away. Ran skits like nigga, he the one that paid for the funeral and she was a big woman. You know what I'm saying? And she was a little woman. This is how he trolled her family. But this woman thinks she could come up on here and play the victim. Nah, not on my watch. That nigga fair game and we gonna keep flaming blood, bitch ass up. Nigga, he acting like he wanted to be a Crip. He wanted to be from 60s. Now he gonna live up to it and see what it feel like to walk in the shoes of a real gang banger. Other than that, this is the Damu Kiwe conversation. Duse M's done. We out of here, man.